Appreciate you hitting the button. Welcome to the How to Hustle podcast with Hype. This is episode 31. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at I am Hype. That's HYMPE. It's Hype. It's not hype. I'm not geeked up. Go through the rundown for you. Mondays is the X Squad affiliates, 2 p.m. GFT Radio Networks, Tuesdays, 2 p.m. Wednesdays is the Kickback app, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thursdays is the GFT Radio. Damn, my bad, not Thursdays. Thursdays is WTNUphilly.com. Fridays, I Say Podcast Network, 10 a.m. And Saturdays now is the THC Network. That is Saturdays, 10 a.m. All right, damn, full rundown right there for you. Also, Mondays, you can catch me on the GFT Radio Network. Every Monday night, we live on the YouTube channel at the GFT Radio. You find us there, having good discussions and getting into the shit. Introduce yourself to the audience, though. Now we got a special guest for episode 31.
What's going on, good people? It's your boy Smooth from the GFT Radio Network. You know what I mean? Here with my boy Hype. Y'all can catch me on my blog, akingstruth.com, or follow me on Twitter at eTrentonGrooming. And, you know, that's big. And Snap at the King's Truth. But mainly go hit up my blog, kingstruth.com.
Copy that. Okay, Smooth, GFT family in the building. You know how we do. Podcast drive-through, baby. We get you in, we get you out. Today's topic, we did, this was not a part one, part two type situation, but we did, what did you learn from the relationship with your dad with Darnell? Shouts out to Darnell from Talking Greasy. So now we're going to do, what did you learn from the relationship with your mom with Smooth? And you always started off with the guest on the How to Hustle podcast.
Okay. My relationship with my mom is deep. You know, first, my mom got pregnant with me at 16. She was a baby having a baby. So I kind of watched my mom grow as I grew. And when I was young, my grandfather was murdered at a young age. I was about 3, about to turn 4, or what so have you. And that right there, you know, changed a lot. Because that changed my mom a lot, you know. But what I learned most from my mom was resiliency. You know, how to, for a long time, my mom didn't know how to control.
Cope with that pain.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So she would lash out, and at times, you know, the closest person to you is who you're gonna lash out against. And for a while, you know, I was the only child, definitely by far the oldest. So I caught the brunt of that. Like, and you know, she went through her little stages of depression, where she if she was here, she would kindly get on and tell you about it herself. You know what I mean? She never ran from that. But you know, as the siblings came along, I noticed our relationship for a while was a little iffy. You know, I got more closer to my father.
How old was you once the siblings started coming though? Because you said you was the oldest by far.
7. I was 7 and I had my sister. Okay. And then after that, I was 14. You know, my youngest brother, tomorrow his birthday is 14. So that's the age. I'll be 38 in a couple months. So you could, you know, that's the age.
Yeah, in a long run.
Yeah, you know, that ain't even including my brothers and sisters on my dad's side. So,
God damn, how many siblings you got?
8.
True.
I'm the oldest. Oldest of 8. 4 girls, 4 boys.
Y'all can legally play in the game.
For real. You know, I remember one time, illest story ever, that my mom and dad used to be like, I see my mom get physically abused. I see her fight my dad, see my dad fight her. I seen them attack each other. You know, once they broke apart, they became best of friends. You feel me? And around the time my grandmother died, my dad's mother, when I was like 12, they tried to reconnect. I was like, nah, you feel me? I don't want y'all together because y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all so perfect apart right now. Y'all so cool, y'all so fly.
That's crazy that the 12-year-old would be the one to recognize that this is a toxic situation and not the 2 adults, though.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, that's what comes with having a child when y'all both teenagers. You feel me?
Y'all all grow up together.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Y'all teenagers have a baby, like you get comfortable in that situation just because it's all you know. It's scary to kind of move on. Your whole life has become with this person. Your whole life got thrown into shambles because it went from about you when it's all supposed to be about you in your teenage years to now I got to be home with you. Like it's hard to
Exactly.
cope and deal with and do all of that. Yeah.
And then when you got two people who are both headstrong and stubborn, like, nah, you feel me? And then you got me there, and y'all both, I'm receiving all that. So now I'm becoming double of what y'all are. You feel me? Y'all making me twice the stubborn, twice as stubborn, twice as angry. So it's like, nah, I don't want y'all together because it's too much. So I remember one time they was arguing. You know, I'm about 13 at this time. You know, and I remember we was taking my grandma. I was with my dad. We was taking my great grandmother to the LASIK surgery. She was getting LASIK surgery, and I was just beefing with my mom, heavy. I ain't like her new boyfriend. I was about to, you know, me and him almost somebody had to stop me from literally stabbing him. You feel me? So I'm beefing, like, you know. So I'm telling my dad, I was like, man, she get on my nerve. Man, my dad like to jab. He like to whoop my head in it. And this is
How
after they
old
was
was you in
arguing.
this? How old was you in this scenario?
I was about 13. I was about 13 at the time. And I'm super, I think I got a friend. You feel me? My dad, I just heard them arguing over the phone and all that the day
But that's
before.
also the problem with the young parents is you look at them. I'm looking at you like a friend instead of a parent. Yeah.
Exactly. And my dad checked me immediately, like, yoked me up. He's like, listen, don't you ever disrespect your mom. He's like, I don't care what. And this is when I learned how he matured. He's like, because he never approached it from this angle before. He was like, I don't care what me and your mother go through. That gives you no right to disrespect her. He said, matter of fact, you better always choose her side over me. You know, and like the way he's in the tone, like I knew he was like when my dad's serious, I knew he was dead serious. So from that point on, me and my mom relationship started to grow again, you know, till today, you know, I'm the oldest. She still look at me like, you know, I guess deep down she realized a lot of the stuff we went through at that young age.
Y'all learned together. Like y'all
Yeah,
grew up together.
exactly. So it made us so much stronger. Our bond is so much stronger now. And then when I got sick, I don't know if you know, we talked about this on the GFT podcast Monday. I touched on a little bit. You know, I had caught the disease that killed my father, sarcoidosis. So it attacked my lungs. So I was in the hospital, you know, multiple times. And the main one was my mother. You feel me? And like she was the only one who I could rely on. Not the woman I was dealing with at the time, not aunts, uncles, friends. The main one that was there was my mother. You feel me? And to this day, she check on me every day. My birthday, November 11th, 11/11. So every time at 11:11 a.m. p.m., I get a text. You know. So what the main thing I learned, long story short, from my mother is resiliency, growth. Growth is important. Don't become stagnant. She the one that first thing that put in my mind, everything that's stagnant dies. You feel me? So don't become stagnant. And be fluid in your thoughts. Be open minded to different things. You know, she never give up, never give up. You know, I seen her. The worst feeling she ever had is she almost gave up. You know, and I was
In the
there
midst of in the midst of the depression.
in the midst of the depression. She almost, you know, really gave up. And I think for me to see that and be the only one to really understand what was going on at the time, I think that hit a little different for her. And from that point forward, it was really, you know, life throws you curveballs. So, you know, everything wasn't perfect since then, but growth was. growth was consistent, even through some of the down times that came after that. She wouldn't let it defeat her. You feel me? Never be defeated is the main thing. She always told me, if you backed in the corner, if they back you in the corner, come out like a lion. Come out like a lion. So that sticks with me to this day. You feel me? Like, that's my heart. That's my heart. Mom's my
heart. Just one of the things I always tell people is I'm a mama's boy and proud of it. Ain't shit you could ever say to demean me about being that. I told my mom 1,000 times, if we both hanging off the cliff, I'm dead because
exactly.
You got to go first. So shit that I got from the relationship with my mom, wow. I got strength, I got religion, I got how to manage your situations, how to, not too much emotional. Like emotions is a bit of a hole for me because it's like we ain't have like my mom or my dad. It was never the emotional types. Like you're not gonna get a whole lot of that out of them. I'm not saying that they're not compassionate or they didn't, care about your problems or whatever. It was just like it's just this just ain't that place. Like
I get it.
But shit, like my mom is the person who everybody in the family turns to, which turned into me being the person that everybody in the family turns to if they can't get her. Shit, like man, I got it all from my mom. Like my mom is the GOAT. Like she's the mother. Is what everybody on the block calls her. That's what everybody in the hood calls her. Like
that's dope.
all of the old heads. If I go to Juma on Friday, all the old heads, yo, mom ain't come, man. Tell mom I said hey, like all of that. Like man, mom did it all and do it all. Like mom had 2 restaurants running and making 26, 28 prom dresses a year. Like house used to be popping back when I was in high school because mom had, hey, who we got coming today, mom? Like, yeah, like I got it all from her. And I've only seen her a couple of times in my life. 'Cause my mom's still alive, my dad ain't. I've only seen her a couple of times where it was like, oh shit, this don't look right. Maybe I can count them on one hand, like where maybe she got overwhelmed in the situation. Because that's how I always stay. So my mother-in-law told me that, like, you just don't let nothing bother you. And it's like, well, that's kind of how my mom always carried it, kind of how my dad always carried it. So it was like, you never get too overly emotional in a situation. You never let yourself get out there to the point where you can't react the way you would want to react. When you start reacting off your emotions and your feelings and not your rational thoughts, now we got a problem. Too many niggas is calling from upstate saying, I just said fuck it. Like you said, your mom almost got to the point of giving up. Like, can't like I mean, I know it's difficult for different times because people got different situations. Like you said, she had you as a baby. So that's an overwhelming situation. And then to lose your dad on top of that, that's an overwhelming situation where these things can happen, but you gotta have somebody that grounds you, somebody that holds you down in that situation. And maybe that person was her dad. So like once he's not here to help me with this shit, it's like, how the fuck, where do I turn? Where do I go to? And all I got is this baby to look at, and I'm looking at you like you're the reason for everything. And now I'm important all of this. You put all of that negativity and that toxic shit in there. And I don't even want this shit to just sound like I'm talking about your mom. This is a generalized conversation for everybody who's listening, you know what I'm saying? But damn, that was great out of you to recognize that at 12, like y'all been so much better apart from each other as parents, as even people to each other, like that y'all don't need to get back together. Y'all getting back together is not a good thing. Like it's hard for people to see that shit at 45. Like y'all been in a toxic marriage for 25 years and y'all just creating little damaged babies and little damaged grandkids because y'all don't know how to handle y'all shit so bad. Like
exactly. And one of the dopest parts. So my dad remarried, and her and my stepmom Laura are cool as shit. You hear me?
Your mom and your stepmom?
Yeah. To the point to where, my other brothers and sisters, or especially my brother, I have like a wrestling match. from my dad and my stepmom, and my mom would show up for support. You know what I mean? Like that's how cool their relationship.
Like the whole fam, like on the shit. What was the Will and Jada joint? All of us, like on the all of us
Yeah,
type. Okay.
yeah. Word up, word up. And I want to get back to something you said about religion. That was one thing. This is just how I know my mom. If she never, my mom used to do the Jehovah Witness thing, right? So she would make me do the Bible study and learn that. You know, that was her thing though, right? That was her. She was doing that in the midst of her. That was helping her get out of her whatever stage of depression she was in, and it worked in a way. But she never like, nah, this is what you're supposed to do. She would hand me the Quran. You feel me? She had a friend, Brother Omar. She was like, talk to him, because that what works for me, or what she used to say, what works for me may not work for you. You feel me? She knew I was one thing she always independent mind, and like I don't be so influenced, don't be gullible by outside influence. Always do your own research. Always, you know what I mean? Look shit up yourself. Don't just take everything.
Don't be influenced by the moment. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was so, you know, I didn't know which way I wanted to go. I always believed in God. I ain't know, but I just ain't rock with that story, the Jehovah's Witness. So she led me down the path of Islam with Brother Omar. You feel me? So I had once took my shahada, and I was like, that was dope, because most parents will feel some type of way. You know, I got friends who mothers and fathers wasn't beat for them to think on their own, to think independently, to believe what they want to believe. They had to believe what the family always believed. You feel me? Which led to me and my mom having great discussions, you know, great debates where there was no animosity, no.
Hold up, Smooth. We've been in all of this time, and you never told me you was Muslim, Smooth.
You know why? You know why? Because
I know you seen the prostration mark on my head.
I do. I do. But you see, but you
Sound like him, first of all.
Alaikum salam. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? My thing is this though, and this is what I learned from the Jehovah's Witness. This is one of the first things. If you're not practicing it properly, you feel me? Don't go out here trying to, oh, I'm Muslim, I do this, and being judgmental when I'm not right in the eyes of Allah. I know I'm not right in the eyes of Allah. Sometimes you go catch me smoking weed, bro, drinking. So it's like I'm letting him down. I know it's you feel me? So I never, you know, I wake up, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, all praise be to Allah. You know what I mean? I do that every morning. I get up, I pray, everything. I got my Somalian roommate. Him and his family Muslim. They call me. We go through it all. You know what I mean? But if I'm not living it properly, I never really, I don't promote it because I'm not right. So who am I?
Let me in here.
I feel good.
Okay. I've been Muslim since the day I was born.
Okay.
Mom and dad took shahada in the 60s. Masjid, like my dad's thing back in the day was he would tell everybody, you got to build a masjid in your community. You from down here, y'all ain't got no masjid. What are you doing? Y'all getting money, like what you spending the money on? So like I said, this has been my entire life. This wasn't went to jail, didn't want to get jumped or nothing like that. This is it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a thing where you gotta be this. For me, it was, this is what my dad does. My dad gets up, he goes to work. My dad prays. My dad has strong relationships with his friends. My dad held his friends down as booked and all of that. My dad held niggas down my entire life. Like I would see my dad going to see niggas, send niggas money, take it, like that was him. Mm-hmm. Fast forward now, when this is my turn, my kids learn how to sit up to get a rug. As long as you are a child and I'm the influence over you, This is what they did for me. When I was 8, I started fasting because this is what my brother was 12 and my mom and dad is fasting. This is what we do. So when my kids both learn how to sit up as babies, you get a rug. I'm going to gear you towards this right now because you're a child and you're not in a state where you're going to make your own decisions. People could do whatever they want with their kids, where they let them go off and do what that ain't my kids. If you choose, once you get to be 16, 17, 18, you get to an age and stage where you want to make your own decisions and this is not for you, hey, as long as you believe in something, I'm good with that. If you want to believe in whatever it is that you want to believe in, and that's cool. But I know that I did my job and I put this into the foundation of the person that you are going to be. Like, now, as far as you taking it is, I'm not practicing the episode. The shouts out to Sean. Episode before you, episode 30, where we get into the different religions. He's Christian, I'm Muslim, and it's like we can all agree to disagree there, but at the same time, it's like none of us are 100%. You cannot be 100%. None of us are perfect. It's not possible. It ain't gonna happen. As long as you got these phones, these devices that you can log in and see and do anything in the world, you're never going to be able to be 100 unless you're locked into a cave and you ain't doing nothing but reading and praying and all of that type of time. Like, so you keep it as close to 90, 70, 60, whatever that percentage is for you. That's between you and God. That's your relationship. Just like I said with the kids, when you raise your kids and as you put that foundation of whatever it is that you're going to instill in them, you place that foundation on them and then it's up to them. It ain't on you once they hit however old that they're making the decisions. So don't put yourself selling yourself short as far as I ain't on it and I know I'm not a shining example of it for the next person and the next person and the next person. You got to do what is the best situation that you can get to. Allah knows all of our shortcomings better than we know them. So like originally when it came out, it was like they wanted us to pray 25 times a day. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, goes back and says, nah, they couldn't handle that. That's how we got down to 5 prayers a day. My bad, y'all. Y'all ain't Muslim. If I'm losing y'all, stick with me. I got y'all. But you know what I'm saying? Like everything, everybody ain't gonna be able to tap into. But you don't just sell yourself short in any situation. Whether you want to take it to religion or take religion out of it, any situation, don't sell yourself short. Don't defeat yourself before you even get to the table. Like don't kill yourself before you even got to the rug. You know what I'm saying? Build you because if you ain't building yourself up, is somebody building you up or somebody else just going, yep, nigga ain't praying again? Like, oh, is that another Grey Goose? Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't let that be your don't self-defeat before you even get there.
Facts. See, I respect.
And again, and this is all things that I got from my mom to tie this all back into what we initially was talking about. What did you learn from your mom? All right, switch up the conversation now. Smooth. Let's dive a little bit into what you got going on, Smooth. Talk to us about the podcast.
Oh man, the GFT network, we're trying to expand. You know, I do the shows every other Thursday. Me and my man Dane. We do the fans perspective. We love to talk about sports, you know, and not just what goes on the court or field, but everything that surrounds it, the whole thing. Mondays, you know, I got into doing the podcast. Sonny brought me in on the second episode ever. And I do it not just to hear myself talk, but just like I'm here to learn. You feel me? I like having different perspective. I like hearing from people that's more mature than me on different topics. You know, Willie came in, father, grandfather, you know, multiple kids. I can learn from that. You know what I mean? Sonny, having a child that's autistic and just seeing her strength and how she deal with that. I can learn patience. I can learn. So I love to learn from other people. You know, that's one of the great things about the podcast I do. And I implore everybody to check us out. We have great conversation. We have fun conversations. We touch on Grown Folk Talk Radio. That's what GFT stands for. So we talk about everything. And we love for y'all. I came up with the moniker, join the conversation. So I love, if all y'all out there, tap in. Like Hype said, you can catch us live Mondays on
10 o'clock
YouTube,
Mondays.
10 o'clock Mondays. YouTube and Facebook Live. You can catch the
I think it's on
replay.
the Twitch, ain't it?
Yeah, and it's on the Twitch. You
Mhm.
catch the replays everywhere on all your
Streaming
iPod,
platforms.
streaming platforms. Pardon me, I said iPod.
I got you. I got you.
You know what I mean? But it's a dope experience. And then personally, I do my blog. One of the things that started off my blog was poetry. I love writing. You know, I love writing poetry. I just love words at the end of the day. And I also used to interview, you know, I'm from Trenton, New Jersey. That's what my Twitter, Trenton Groove. Our local paper, always negative, negative, negative images. Y'all know every hood like that, every city that we always hear the negative. So I used to want to promote positive people doing positive things in the communities. So I got quite a few interviews over the years. Y'all can go in there and check from dope people, from politicians to artists, musicians, other poets, other people that do blogs, and it's a dope platform for me to get a lot of things off my chest. So y'all can check me out there. I got a lot more going to add to that. And stay tuned.
Yeah, like you said, I'm an old school type of guy. And like you said, them conversations on Monday, getting different perspectives on different topics. I try to turn everything into a topic. So when we had most of the time, it'd always be funny though when we be doing them Monday shows. It'd be like, shit, this is something I already either just talked about or I'm talking about next week or something. Like it always seemed to work out like that. And so that helps you with getting a different perspective. Like, shit, Smooth just said that, Dame just said that, and I didn't even think about it like that. Or Sonny might have said that, or like you said, you watch different situations that people go through and try to pick something from it. That's one of the things I always try to do. Like, shit, I watch my daughter play with my niece and be like, okay, you can pick something up from everything if you're just willing to pay attention. And there's always a topic there, always a topic there. That's why I don't like to go back and forth in the text messages. Let's get on the fucking phone and talk. Us getting on that phone and talking, I just came up with 2-3 topics off of that 20-minute conversation.
Facts.
So shouts out to the GFT family. Smooth, I appreciate you coming on.
Anytime,
episode, that is episode 31. Smooth, Sound Alaikum. We are out.